This is the third question of the seminar number 4. Let's see. A person uses 30% of 600,000 he owns to purchase shares of a company for 24 rupees per share whose nominal value is 25 and deposits the balance in a fixed deposit account. Let's break this question. He has a 600,000. Sorry. He then uses 30% of this money for shares at 24 rupees each. Which has a nominal value of 25. That means it has a market value of 25, but he has bought it for 24 rupees. And the rest 70% of the money is deposited in a bank, in a fixed account. Okay. Now they are asking us, show that the amount of money used for purchasing shares is 180,000. This is how you do it. That means they are asking us to prove that this 30% is 180,000. In this type of question, we should be writing statements. So let's write. I'll use a different color. Amount money amount used to buy shares equals his whole amount is 600,000 and 30% of it. Right. This is how we write it, and this will give us a value of 180,000. So we can do the simplification like this. Sorry, this 2 gets cancels off, and this get cancels off. 6,000 into 30 is 180,000. That's how you get the answer for the first question. Now let's go to the second question. In the second part, they are asking us to find the nominal value of the shares purchased is 100. They are asking us to show that the nominal value of the shares purchased is 187,500. From the first question, we know that the money he used to purchase the shares is 180,000. To find this, first we should find the number of shares he purchased. To find the number of shares he purchased, he used 180,000. He bought each share for 24. This will give us he had purchased 7,500 shares. Now we should find the market value of these shares he bought. 24 is not the market value. 25 is the market value of each share. They are asking us to show that the market value of all the shares is 187,500. To find out that, of the shares, nominal value of the shares, we know that nominal value of each share is 25. Now he has 7,500 shares which has a nominal value of 25. This would give us the nominal value of all the shares, 187,500. This is how you show the nominal value of the shares. First find out the number of shares he purchased and then multiply that number of shares with the nominal value of each share. In the third part, they are asking us to find the dividend. If the company pays 5% per year as dividend, they are asking the annual income from the shares bought. The dividend is paid for the nominal value of the shares. So from the previous question we found out the nominal value of the shares is 187,500. So in order to find the dividend from the shares he bought annually, income gained from shares, he has shares which is worth of 187,500, which the company pays him a 5% of dividend annually. So in order to find the annual income, we should multiply it by the dividend. This will give us 9,375. This is how you find the income gained from the shares. First we should find the nominal value and then multiply it by the dividend the company is paying. In the fourth question, in the fourth part, they are asking how much money is deposited in the account. To find out that, we know earlier we found out that 30% is deposited in the to buy the shares and the remaining 70% is deposited. They are asking the value of this 70%. To find that, he has 600,000. Either we can subtract 180,000 which is used to buy the shares, or we can multiply it by 70% to find out the money he has deposited. Let's multiply it by 70%. This will give us 'This is how you find the money deposited in the bank. In the fifth part of the third question, they are asking, if the interest accumulates at a rate of 5% annually, calculate the total amount in the account in the end of the second year. They are saying the bank pays him an annual rate of 5%. They are asking how much will be there at the end of the second year in his bank account. For that, we have two ways to do. First, let's see the I think this is the way we should do in the exams. First, we should find the money at the end of the first year. The money at the end of the first year is equal to, initially he has 420,000 in the bank, and the bank pays a 5% for the money he has in the bank. To get the amount he gets from the bank, we should get the 5% from the bank. This is the amount the bank pays for him. $420,000 into 5% is the amount the bank pays for him, which is already in the bank, is this 420,000. Now, when we find out this, at the end of the first year he has this would give us 21,000. So at the end of the first year he will be having 441,000. This is not the answer they expected. They are asking the money which is available at the end of the second year. So the money at the end of the second year, there should be a year here. The money at the end of the first year, the money at the end of the second year. This is what they are asking. We know the money at the beginning of the second year is 441,000 now, because the bank had paid a 5% interest for the money we had in the beginning of the beginning of the year. This is the money we have at the beginning of the second year. At the end of the year, the banks pay 5% annual interest for the customer. So to find out the interest he got, we should multiply the money which is in the bank by the interest rate, which is 5%. This would give us the money at the end of the second year, which is this is 22,050, which will give us 463,050. So at the end of the second year, he has 463,050 rupees in his bank. So as a recap, the money at the end of the first year, how we calculate is that this is the amount at the beginning, and at the end of the first year the bank would pay a 5% interest. So at the end of the first year he will be having 441,000. You add the interest to the amount which is already in the bank, and then to get the money at the end of the second year, we add. Now we have 441,000 in the bank. There is no more 420,000 because the interest is added. Then for that amount of money, the bank will be paying 5% of interest. Then at the end of the second year, when we add the interest and the amount which is already there, we get 463,050. So if the bank pays a 5% annual interest for 420,000, at the end of the second year, the money at the deposit will be 463,050. The other way to do is, we have 420,000 in the bank. At the end of first year, we will be having 105% of this money. We will be having 105% because they are giving us 5% more. At the end of second year, now this is the amount. This is the amount at the end of first year. In the next year, similarly, the bank would pay another 5%. That means they will get another 105% of the amount they have. So you multiply it by 105%. So this also will give us 463,050. You could use the both ways, but this might be the way which is used in the exams. Now let's discuss the fourth question of the fourth seminar. This question says that Carlita pays 750 rupees per quarter in assessment tax for a building he owns. The annual assessment tax charged for the building is 15% its annual value. Find the assessment tax Carlita pays per year. That's the first question. Find the assessment tax Carlita pays per year. Per quarter he pays we know that per quarter he pays 750. Per quarter he pays 750. So in order to find the money he pay annually, we should multiply it by 4, because 1/4 he pays 750 1/4. So annually he pays 754 is 3,000 rupees. He pays 3,000 rupees annually. Next they ask, find the annual value of the building. The question they say the annual assessment tax charged for the building is 15% its annual value. Now we found out the assessment tax he pays is 3,000 rupees. Now 3,000 rupees is 15% of the annual value of the building. So they are asking the annual value of the building. We know 3,000 rupees, which is the assessment tax, is 15% value of the annual building. So this 3,000 rupees is actually 15%. They are asking the total value of the building, which is the 100% value of the building. 15% is 3000. They are asking the 100%, the full value of the building, which will give us 200 20,000. Now let's see the third question. Here they say Carlita rent out his building for 20,000 rupees a month. He obtains the rent of 6 months as advance payment. Find the advance payment Carlita obtains. So advance payment obtained is equal to, we know each month the rent is 20,000. We should multiply it by 6 to get the advance payment, which is 20,000 into 6 is 120,000. This is the advance payment he gets. See the fourth question. Now they are saying he invests this advance payment to purchase shares of a company that pays annual dividend of 25% for its shares. Okay. A share of this company of nominal value is 100 rupees is sold at 120, right? What this statement says, the real value of the share is 100 rupees, but he has bought it for 120 rupees. Okay. We should keep in mind the company would be paying dividends for the nominal value of the shares, not for the price it is bought or sold. Okay. Now in the next question they are asking, the fourth question they are asking, find the nominal value of the shares Carlita buys and then the dividend income he receives at the end of the year. Okay. To find out the nominal value of the shares, first we should find out how many shares he has bought and then multiply it by the nominal value of each share. Let's do it. Number of shares bought. He invested 120,000. He bought each share for 120 rupees. That means he has bought 1,000 shares. Now let's find the nominal value of the shares. In order to find the nominal value of the shares, we should multiply the number of shares, which is 1,000, by the nominal value of each share, which is 100 rupees. The nominal value is 100, but the price he bought is 120. So the nominal value of the shares is equal to 100,000. Fine. Now we got one part of that fourth question. Find the nominal value of the shares Carlita buys. Now we found that. And they're asking, then find the dividend income he receives at the end of the year. So this question guides you that in order to find the dividend, always we should know the nominal value of the shares. Fine. Now we know the company pays a dividend of 25% for its shares annually. So the next part of the same question, income received annually for the shares is equal to income received annually for the shares is equal to, now the nominal value is 100,000. as we know, always the dividend is paid for the nominal value, keep that in mind, into 25%. The company pays a 25% dividend for the shares they got. So the income he get from this is 25,000. So from shares he get 25,000 annually. Now let's see the next question. State if you agree or not with the statement the annual dividend Carlita received from investing in the company, which we found is 25,000, is more than 10% of the annual rent he received by renting out the building. Now we should find the 10% of the annual rent he receives. In order to find that, fifth question. First, let's find the annual income he gets. Annual income he gets from rent. That is, each month he gets 20,000 multiplied by 12 in order to get the annual income, which is 240,000. Fine. Now we should find the 10% of the annual income, which is there in the statement. 10% 10% of 240,000. Which will be equal to 24,000. Yes. Now they are asking, now we found out the both the parts in the statement. The annual dividend part received from investing in the company, we know that is 25,000, and 10% of the annual rent he receives by renting out the building, we found that, which is 24,000. Yeah. Now they are saying that the annual dividend Carlita received from investing in the company is more than the 10% of the annual rent received by renting out the building. Yes, we should agree with the statement because we know 25,000 is what they are saying. 25,000. They are asking whether 25,000 is greater than 24,000. Yes, we agree. That's how you do the fifth part.